I guess the last part of it is if you can kind of like just talk about yourself growing up, and you can touch upon like I guess you can say cultural values that took effect in your life or had a lot of effect in your life, and then just kind of I guess relating it back to how it shaped you growing up and like how you were affected by like your parents, your peers, and whatnot.
Okay. I think for me growing up, I'm like third generation Japanese American, but my parents did not go to college, so I guess I'm considered like first generation college student. My parents did value education though, so it was not a question of, would they support me going to college? I mean, they certainly did that. But I think growing up, I think I remember that I felt like there were certain messages that I received from people, family growing up that, there are certain careers that are sort of good for women because then they can work around their family and things like that. And, I remember I have one brother who's a medical doctor, and kind of the feeling was, well, he should become like a medical doctor, but like I shouldn't necessarily think about getting a PhD because maybe women don't really need a PhD.
Yeah.
So I felt like there might have been some subtle, messages about what are good careers for women and what are good careers for men, and men should be able to do anything, but women should think about, other aspects of their lives. So I think those are probably some of the messages that I got growing up. But, I think I was fortunate to have a lot of peers who, very ambitious and high achieving, female, Asian American females that I had as peers. So I think we kind of encouraged each other, and then also having great, some faculty and teachers that were very encouraging. So, I think it's always complex in terms of, the kind of messages that you get and kind of get ingrained even, as a young child. But,
Yeah.
I feel fortunate that, I think at first my parents really didn't even understand about clinical psychology. I'm going to graduate school in clinical psychology. They're like, what is that? And, what's the difference between psychology and a psychiatrist? And, why do you want to work with crazy people? And they had like their own kind of misconceptions about it.
Yeah.
And so I had to kind of explain a lot to them. But even though they didn't really quite get it, I have to say I felt like they did support me because, they supported education. So I think if I were choosing to do something else that wasn't a teach, maybe they wouldn't have supported me as much. But, and then of course now they're like really happy and proud that I did all this stuff. But at the time they were kind of like, why do you have to be in school so long? And when are you going to be done? And, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Okay, and then I guess, I mean, I know you answered it kind of like in the beginning already, but can you, once again, like you work a lot with the Journey to Success program, and this has been around for, you said 2 years or something, you mentioned? Yeah, 2 years.
Right.
Can you kind of just describe what Journey to Success means to you, and then also if you would like to elaborate like about the future of it, or like how to make it a more like to spread initially, make get it to have more awareness and to go beyond than just the four main campuses you have it at now. Like just you need future directions for it.
Okay, and so you're asking specifically about the Journey to Success program, is that right?
Yeah, so what does it mean to you? And then,
Okay. Probably one of the things that might be helpful is I could email you a summary. You probably haven't seen it from our that comes out of our counselor's office of what the Journey to Success program is and some of the different activities that we've done. And then you could read a little bit about it and kind of some of the things we're actually continuing to do. We're going to be doing like a community forum. We held a joint event with College Board last spring about educating AAPIs, but there's a little description of those things, so I can email that to you if you give me your email address.
Okay. My email address is Julie V, JULIEV.
Julie D.
000.
At 000.
No. So it's Julie V 000.
000. Okay.
And then at gmail.com.
At gmail.com. Okay. Julie D 000 at gmail.com.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay, good.
Definitely if you can provide
But yeah, I mean, I think we're just very excited about the project that we've been doing so far in terms of the momentum, and it's really been kind of nice to work with several other Cal State campuses. We actually have a Northern California group that's working on some of the, doing a similar kind of program there. So it's really been exciting, and I've really enjoyed working with our community partners. So one of the things that we've been doing is working with community organizations, we have Kamai Girls in Action, and we have the United Cambodia Community. So we've really made a big effort to work with our community partners in planning some of our events, because we really didn't want to do the university has all the answers and we're going to just invite you to come and learn, but we really wanted people to know that we wanted to work in partnership with them. So that's been very, very positive. And I guess where I hope it goes is that, it's something that we really continue on, that it's very important for the university to partner with the community. I mean, even though we're just like maybe a few miles away from like our Cambodia town here, that it's almost like they're separate worlds, and the people at the university, know that this community exists, but really don't go there, and then the people from Cambodia town don't necessarily come to the university. So I think the fact that we're developing these partnerships and developing kind of relationships with people is very important, and I think it's something that it really has to be ongoing and sustained, that we can't just sort of do like a one-time program and go, okay, well now we've been successful. We really have to make that effort to continue on and to see this relationship grow. I think that's what we really like to do, and to see how we can help the students, our local students from Long Beach, really think about higher education as a viable option for them.
Okay. So I'm reading about what it does. So do you guys do actual outreach to, I guess you can say, high school students, or is it more of like high school and then retention within college?
It's actually both. We've kind of been doing, part of it has been outreach to high school, middle school, and parents. But we also work with like our Cambodian student organization on campus, and we've been working on some retention kinds of issues. We're working on like a peer mentoring program. We've done helping to have tutoring available for students who need it. So we want to pay attention to both, because we don't want to just bring students here and then not think about them anymore.
Yeah, of course.
We want to make sure that they're successful here, because it's not going to do any good to bring them here and then they fall off our radar. So it's really about both.
Yeah, okay, that sounds good, yeah, because I was looking on it, and I mean, it's a webpage via CSU Yeah. Yeah, I found the webpage, but it was just very that was like one thing on it and like a small blurb on the side about what Journey to Success was. But did you guys have like a specific like website, or is it more of just so that you partner with other groups and then that's kind of like how it gets into into web? Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah. Because I was just looking at this and there wasn't that much information, but I mean, it's good enough for me to go off on. And it's,
Right.
getting the opportunity to talk to you just to elaborate more on what